Alright guys, we're back in my garage for another video. I finally got a haircut, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the best value setups for your B58 powered BMW and or Toyota. Now this is something that several people have asked me about because a lot of you are worried about what mod you should do next, which modification will give you the most noticeable improvement in performance and things like that. Personally, I'm going to just provide my input based on my experience. And I know a lot of people will disagree with it, so you can feel free to continue the discussion in the comments down below. But, personally, I think that there's a really good strategy to how you can modify your car. And every time you invest money in it, you feel like you got a big return on your investment. So hopefully you guys find this video useful. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. So to start things off, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but the absolute best value bang for your buck mod on your car is a stage 1 tune. I absolutely loved it when my 440i was stage 1. I have a stage 1 tune on the 340i right now, and it's a nice way to add a lot more power to your car without doing any extra modifications. You don't have to take off your bumper. You don't have to get under the car. This isn't like some of the older vehicles where you'll have to upgrade your spark plugs or your charge pipe or anything like that. This is really a stage 1 tune that's designed for a completely stock vehicle. So it works really well. It usually adds anywhere from 60 to 100 wheel horsepower over stock, depending on the fuel that you're using. And it doesn't mess with any emissions equipment. You don't have to do, like I said, any modifications to your car. So if you want to flash back to stock for your emissions check or anything else that you have going on, you can do that as well. So I'm a huge fan of a stage 1 tune personally. Now you can get into a stage 1 tune for as cheap as around $420. So some companies sell their flasher modules and their maps separate from the diagnostics, but I do recommend getting the logger as well. It's something that's going to help you make sure that the fuel quality that you're running is set up for the off-the-shelf map because it's not designed specifically for your car and conditions. So it can be really hard to tell if your pump gas is good enough quality to safely run the off-the-shelf map, which really you never hear of people having good quality fuel. So in most cases, you're going to be like me where you experience some timing corrections and stuff. And that just lets you know if there's anything that needs to be addressed. Now, when I was experiencing timing corrections, I actually added a little bit of ethanol to 2 tanks. Then I just said screw it and went straight to the E30 map. If you plan on running ethanol, you can definitely run a flex fuel kit, and that takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to worry about, your fuel pressure crashing or any issues if you don't get your mix exactly right. I didn't have a flex fuel sensor when I ran E30 on my 440i, but I do have a flex fuel sensor on the 340i. So it really just depends on your comfort level and how much convenience you want. Now the next step up from here is stage 2 plus, stage 2 HPFP, stage 2.5, whatever your tuner calls it. Basically the setup for a TU high pressure fuel pump and a downpipe. Now, if you have a B58 TU, so like a Supra or an M340i, this is just your standard stage 2 off the shelf map. Now, the big benefit here is that upgraded high pressure fuel pump. That is the key to being able to pull out more power and more torque from your vehicle because the stock fuel pump runs out of steam pretty quickly with the stock turbo, and an upgraded fuel pump lets you get more torque and more power. Now, this is capable of adding another 80 to 100 wheel horsepower depending on your fuel. I've seen some people pull 500 to 520 wheel horsepower on an ethanol mix. Again, it depends on your fuel quality and how good the tune matches your car. But either way, it's an extremely capable setup. It can get you into the 10-second quarter-mile range and the low 8-second 60 to 130 range. Some of the Supras I've even seen high 7s. So yeah, a really, really nice quality setup with minimal modifications. Now, as far as cost, it really depends. If you have a Gen 1 and you need to buy a high-pressure fuel pump, they can be around $300 to $500. And a downpipe is around the same cost as well. Of course, you can get it cheaper if you buy it used. But say brand new, all in, it's around $1,000 plus your tune and the map pack that you already purchased, and now you have an extremely capable car. But I will say this is where you start needing more supporting mods to safely run these tunes. So if you have a manual transmission, I highly recommend getting a clutch upgrade. And if you have an automatic transmission, you're going to want an XHP transmission flash. So adding these supporting mods just helps you put down the torque more reliably, helps the transmission hold it together better. For the automatic trans, it also gives you faster shifts and just a lot of those small incremental improvements that don't add power to the car, but do provide faster performance and better times. Now, the third setup, and basically the grand finale for most people, is an upgraded turbo and an upgraded fuel system. If you have a Gen 1, this usually looks like an upgraded hybrid turbo with a Deutsch Stage 2. If you have a Gen 2, then you guys unfortunately don't have high pressure fuel pumps available, but you can always add port injection for a similar cost. Now, if you go this route, you're capable of easily running 600 to 700 wheel horsepower, again, depending on your fuel quality. This puts your car in a really nice, happy place where you can run it with the stock engine, the stock transmission, and still make extremely good power and run very good times. This is where some people start running low 10s. Some people are even running high 9s with similar setups. And you're going to be able to have a lot more room to grow into it. So if you ever plan on building your engine, your transmission, or everything else after that, this sets you up for all of that future growth. And for the cost, it really varies. If you're looking at a hybrid turbo, it's usually around $2,000 to $3,000, and that upgraded fuel system is around $1,500 to $2,000. So you can say for around $5,000 with a custom tune, you can get yourself into this ballpark. If you're like me, of course, you can pay more and get into like a full frame setup, top mount, bottom mount, whatever you prefer. It does help create all the extra noises, and it's just a lot more fun in my opinion. But again, it depends on your budget. Now, a couple things that I want to address first of all is for a stock turbo, a lot of people ask me, is a custom tune worth it? Personally, for me, I don't feel like it's worth it. I actually went through the custom tuning process before we had like the upgraded fueling off the shelf maps available, and I made similar power to what those off the shelf maps now make. So I did that originally when the TU pump wasn't just readily available and something that people expected to upgrade. And although I noticed the power improvement from a custom tune, I don't think the power improvement is noticeable compared to the off the shelf maps we have available. Now that's just my personal opinion, and it really depends on your goals. I definitely can't deny the fact that all the fastest stock turbo cars have a custom tune. So if you want to break the record and be the absolute fastest stock turbo B58 out there, or whatever, you've got a friend that you're just trying to be able to beat him, then that can definitely help get you down that path. But what I don't like is a lot of people see custom tune and assume they're going to be hitting these record times that you're seeing. So if somebody's hitting a record with a custom tune, that doesn't mean that your custom tune is going to get you there. You might not even get to where they were on an off-the-shelf map. They might have other things they've done to their car that you're not willing to do, like, upgraded wheel and tire package, reducing weight. So just keep in mind that you want to base everything on your goals and how your car is performing in your specific scenario. Don't try to just compare it with a bunch of other people on the internet. Now, another thing that people ask me is running a bigger turbo with a TU pump or on a Gen 2 B58, running a big turbo with a stock fuel system. Is that worth it? So that almost cuts the price in half. If you don't have to pay an extra $2,000 for upgraded fueling, does it make sense just to upgrade your turbo? In my opinion, that definitely can be worth it. But again, you have to determine your goals yourself. Some of you might have seen some of my videos that I posted in the past, showed you guys the testing that I did with my DOCRace turbo kit and just a TU pump. It was significantly faster than my stock turbo setup. It was over a second faster in the 60 to 130. And I definitely think with an ethanol mix, you can really dial in an extremely powerful tune. I've seen several cars hit anywhere from 550 to 600 wheel horsepower, which you are not going to reach on the stock turbo. And if that falls in line with your goals, it's definitely something that you can do. The thing that frustrates me the most is when people say it's not worth it without upgrading your fuel system because they act like it's just going to be as fast as the stock turbo or it's going to feel really slow. It's still going to feel fast. With a good tune, it's going to be much faster than your stock turbo. And in a lot of scenarios, your turbo is going to be able to max out your transmission. It's going to max out your fuel system. It's even going to max out your engine. So at what point is the turbo upgrade worth it? Even with a hybrid turbo, you can theoretically run 30 plus PSI and blow your intake manifold. But if you're not planning on doing that, There are a lot of scenarios where you can safely tune your car within the limits of your setup, whether it's your fuel system, your transmission, or whatever the case may be. You can tune your car safely and enjoy it with the additional power that you can't make with the stock turbo. So again, all of that depends on you. I ran it with the TU pump, then I upgraded to a Dorch Stage 2. Now I have port injection, and every upgrade made the car more fun. So I can't tell you that you won't have fun on a specific setup, especially if it falls in line with what your ultimate goals are with your car. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums everything up. Hopefully you guys kind of see the theme here. You need to decide what you want out of your car, and that helps you plan out your build much more effectively. But one of those 3 steps, or going through that progression, kind of stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, those jumps are going to give you the most noticeable improvement when you make an investment. Although as you get faster, it's going to take more money to get you there. So, budget accordingly, plan out your build, and enjoy your car. Don't worry about everybody else, and I guarantee you'll have a good time. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below. There are a lot of scenarios where you can safely tune your car within the limits of your setup, whether it's your fuel system, your transmission, or whatever the case may be. You can tune your car.